Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining us today for a fireside chat with Sheeple First. Today, I will have Tony, the CEO and founder. Hi, Tony. How are you today?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Yes, for sure. So we had the chance to talk a bit like before the chat. So maybe you introduce yourself to the audience that they get to know you a bit.
Absolutely. My name's Tony Grebmeyer. I've been online since 1995, 96, trying to figure out how to make money online, find where I belong, and how to offer amazing, business practices and services. We're a fulfillment company. We work in the direct response, influencers. The most important thing about our company is really the people that make up kind of who we are and how we operate. And we're really the type of company that wants to help solve problems and come up with solutions. And so we have products that are on demand, fulfillment and shipping solutions. We just recently opened in the Netherlands. We have an operation out of Nashville, a few places here in Denver, Colorado. And it's my passion. I work with my childhood best friend. I've known him since I was 4 and he was 3. So we've been in business coming up on 24 years next March.
That's really nice. And for the one who don't really know Sheeple First, can you give us like a short intro?
Yeah, so anything that you buy online has to get put in a box or a bag and shipped. So it doesn't matter if it's a e-commerce purchase or you're shopping on Amazon or whatnot. Behind all of that is a fulfillment company. And I love to say that what we do is we put our clients' products in a box and we ship them to their customers every single day. And we try to do that to the right customer and as many people as we possibly can help that fit our niche. Really, health and wellness is primarily our big focus. And yeah, it's a lot of fun. And I love at the end of the day, seeing all the stories of people that are happy, because that's really what it is. We're just a silent person in between the sale and the happy customer.
That's really nice. And there is a story behind Sheeple First, right? You mentioned you started 23 years ago. Let us get to know this a bit better.
Sure. So, I was online early and figured it out. Like I sold traffic to Google and Yahoo before they were who they are. Always dabbled with trying to figure it out. I had a bunch of jobs by the time I was 18 to figure out what I didn't want to do, to focus on what I loved. And I really loved selling stuff. And I think all of us at the end of the day are salespeople, right? We're really good
100%.
at selling to our family what we want, et cetera. So I found a path and a niche. We started, in the male enhancement space, gosh, late 90s, before really Viagra was huge and all that kind of stuff. And so I found a way to sell products online, but I didn't know much about the fulfillment. So we found, a couple fulfillment providers to help us. And at the end of the day, their whole deal was like, we put it in a bag, we put it in a box, we dropped it off, it's out of our hands. And I'm like, man, and that started causing us a lot of problems. Ended up having to take those companies to court to try to get back some of the money that we spent and lost. I mean, we were dealing with chargeback issues, unhappy customers, banks calling us, et cetera. And so like 99, 2000, I was a part of another company that still is in business today. I was a partner and I just saw an opportunity to do things different. And so in October of 2000, I left all that behind and started in my garage for about 5.5, 6 months. I love saying I'm a garage startup. It was myself and a couple other people. And most of my days was spent running around to the post office trying to buy as many stamps as I could. And so I'd walk in and they're like, they're over there on a roll, go buy them, And I did that for a long period of time. And we really mastered, I think, the solving the problem of fulfillment companies, which is we care. We're not done when we put it in a box and we ship it. We're responsible for, really delivering on our promise. And we try to do that, like I said earlier, is, many times as we can a day, but we really care. And that's what I love about our business model is that it's not transactional. You're never done with the sale in life and business. So you're always working on like, how can you get better? And you learn a lot through the process. And one of the things that we love is really the connections we have with our customers because they become like family to us. So we have a big stake in your success.
That's a really great story, and it's the second time I hear it, so it's like I'm sure the audience really like it. And if you can share a bit, what type of businesses working with you in the affiliate space?
Sure. Man. So in the affiliate space, we've got, solopreneurs, we've got, entrepreneurs, and we got big companies that, they've got offers that they're launching. We've seen everything in direct response. We love collaborating with influencers, people in e-com, you know, the interesting part is there's this mentality out in the network is like, you know, go launch an offer and sell it and pound it as much as you can into somebody. And then, you know, several months into that offer, they just move on to something else. And one of the things that, you know, I'd love to see more in this industry is people really care and focus on coming up with lasting brands or having the brands be a part of something big. One of the hardest things is, you know, you have all these affiliate networks and it costs a lot to acquire a customer, and you spend a lot of your time, you know, spending a lot of money to acquire that customer, and then you make the sale and you know, you give them all the upsells. And at the end of the day, maybe they care, maybe they don't, but they're on to the next thing in, you know, 3 to 6 months. And I'm like, I think the tail is what I really want to improve in the industry, is have the tail be a little bit longer, a little bit more impactful, make sure the content's strong around the offer, not just the sale, the follow-up, really care. Like, think of a doctor. Okay. A doctor's office is to see you, check in with you, see how you're doing on the product, or, you know, if they, you know, have some stuff that they put you on, follow up with, you know, regular tests. Even the dentist here in America, you know, want to see you a couple times a year, and really build the relationship instead of the one-time sale. You know, I love e-com because I think there's a story behind it. People fall in love with it, and then they want to become an advocate for it. And then you get kind of free bonus, you know, sales. You know, you get people caring about it and they're like, hey, did you know about this product? And they're almost silent affiliates. So I think for me in the very end is, you know, it's a race to the bottom. And I've seen it multiple times in this industry over, you know, 26, 27 years online. And I really want to do what we can as a company and an industry to really change the mindset and mentality. Don't make the sale, make the customer, and then build a relationship with the customer, and you'll sell more in the long run.
You just nailed my next question with like saying all those great things. So like, I'm sure people now more to work with you like even more. So that's great. And thanks for the introduction. I think now like it would be like good to deep dive inside like some more like questions about like fulfillment.
Yep.
So in your perspective, like what can hurt like a fulfillment for NutraBrand's performance?
Oh, there's so many things. I mean, I think the number one thing is, you know, a lot of times when you're launching an offer, you have this, I got to get my cost down as much as possible because it costs me so much to acquire a customer. And one of the things that I like to tell everybody on our team is like, you know, you really need to work with the person who's launching the offer. And you know, for us at Ship Offers, our people come from both sides. So they come from the affiliate side, they come from the fulfillment side, but at the end of the day, they're, you know, customer support centric type people. And I think instead of just launching an offer, if you were shopping around for the best mortgage rate, you're going to call multiple companies. And I like to say Ship Offers has been around doing what we've been doing for, you know, 24 years. We're not just some new company that flipped on. We have you at the heart, and we want you to go out and figure out all the things and then realize cheap isn't better. So a lot of times you need price, but you need speed. We operate 7 days a week. Some of our customers are available to take, you know, advantage of 6 days a week. But we have multiple offices in the US and international, so we can cover and move product pretty quick. Slow delivery times can kill you. Non-responsive fulfillment companies, long trouble tickets that don't get, you know, resolved. There's a lot of things, terms, working with the networks, making sure compliance. There's so many things that can kill an offer if, you know, you don't take all those things into consideration. And also just remember that the phone is your friend. Don't hide behind a text message. Jump on the phone, talk to somebody, and also see where you can meet us. That's one thing that we like. We're everywhere. We're not just in a few places. We go to where our customers are. And so think about that. If you're working with an affiliate, you know, company, that's awesome. But when you're working with a fulfillment partner and a products company, you want to talk to them like they're your best friend, because if you sell a product or a service and it doesn't arrive on time, it goes to the chargeback, and then the chargeback goes to, you know, your mids in jeopardy. And eventually, you know, you could lose your business, and then you have to start over again. And I don't want to see that happen to anybody.
I think what you just mentioning is like pure gold to our audience. So I would have another question about some issues. What kind of like fulfillment issues do you see in the Nutra space? Let's say in the recent like year, and if you have like some story in mind.
Yeah, I mean, wow. Inventory is probably one of the best things that I can tell people. So a lot of people say, well, I can go do it on my own. So they go call a lab, which I highly recommend you do. You know, you go go figure out the industry. There's a reason why we've been around for so long is we are like a bank. We can help leverage your buying power so you don't have to have, a lot of capital to get started, right? We have a small little startup fee, but really that's your money. It's really just to make sure that we're not going anywhere and that we're here to kind of work with you. So you have some skin in the game, as my business partner, Doug, always says, But one of the problems in this industry is that your offer could scale overnight. And with our on-demand business model, where we've got, a catalog of almost 50 products that are on demand, we could spin a label on them and put them on today and ship them out to your customers tomorrow. A lot of times, you're like, you don't have the money and you can't scale that offer, and you're paying so much to the affiliates and you're paying money to the networks and everybody. Ship offers is the last to get paid. We're the last in the line because I've seen so much over my history. Unfortunately, man, money is everything. Cash is king. And if you don't have the capital, you're going to, really put yourself out of business really, really quick. So we try not to deliver on empty promises and really be there for our customers. And one piece that I'll add is one of the reasons your offer will die is because you didn't put your heart and soul into it. You just tried to use your old list and burn it and see what you can make out of it. And I think everything we're going to talk about today is connections and really talking to who your ideal avatar and customer is and have a need for that product in the market. My business partner, Doug, always mentions, like, we solve problems. Our customers need to learn how to solve the problems and actually care and be passionate about it. And like, I can tell you this from firsthand. I've had customers over the years go, I'm buying from this lab and I'll ship you the product. And I'm like, great. How much did you buy? 5,000 units. How long did it take? 16 weeks. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, we work with all FDA compliant labs and businesses, and we can get product, quick. And we have, millions and millions of dollars of inventory sitting on hand to help. And so we're also the company that people jump to in the midst of chaos and crisis in their life. They were working with a different lab who, were a fulfillment company that couldn't provide a service. And they saw, like, oh man, let me just make a phone call. I've seen these guys everywhere. And they realized, like, wow, you answered the phone, you got back to me. I'm like, our people are like basically around 24 hours a day. And we want to solve the problem that you don't stock out, because if you stock out, your game's over. So we really have a motto here is, don't stock out, communicate, and to really have the impact for your customers, become an advocate for them, and ultimately help them to become an advocate to their client.
That's really a great answer. And I think the question I have to follow up would be, what are the main reasons why companies need to have a fulfillment partner in that case, and how it can help with their program in general?
Yeah. So, our program was built for the people who really want to scale a business. Test is a philosophy we have here. Test an offer, test traffic, test, kind of how it works and what changes you need to be. The thing that we constantly run into is, customers without a successful fulfillment company, they'll literally just put products in a box and ship it. Right?
Yeah.
They'll never make the phone call to you. I'm like, did you know that you could add this product and actually make a couple extra dollars, like on the back end of this deal every single time? And we've got this on demand. So no extra money out of your pocket. Like when I say we get paid last, we get paid last. And so that gives you more buying power to, if it is the traffic that you need or whatnot. And also, one thing to take in consideration, like, I've been doing this long enough to know I've seen all the ups and downs. I've seen, like, the products that were hot in 2000s come back around multiple times. The seasonality of the game. You need a fulfillment partner who has the experience, and you can't buy that experience. Like, there's no amount of data software that I can acquire in my life to tell me what's coming when, and nobody could predict the pandemic. And we thrived in uncertain times. And I hate sometimes saying that, but, I was in Paris on March 9th of 2000, looking at opening an operation internationally at Charles de Gaulle, just right outside in Paris. And man, I got to tell you, like, I saw firsthand, like, all the planes lined up, they were all grounded. Everybody was shut down. Operational logistics were, on the ground. My company that I'd been a part of for all these years, we were all, like, huddled up. We weren't in the office. We're like, how do we solve the problems that people still are buying stuff? How do you get that product in their hands? And I'm like, let's collaborate. And that's what I love, on our team is, everybody jumps in and tries to solve problems. I kind of say there's really no wins or losses. There's just lessons. And what can you learn from history? Well, in 2008, we had a financial crisis and the market sprung back. And in the late, 80s and 90s, there was a housing crisis. I mean, I'm like, there's solutions. Google, go look, go talk to historians, go see people with a lot of experience and counsel. And that's what, I'm thankful that I've got an amazing group of people around me that I seek counsel from that are on our team that are a lot younger than me, who buy different and run a business completely in their head, how they, I'm a FaceTime person. I like to see people. Some people, they can text faster than I could even talk. And, it's all for me really figuring out what the client's specific needs are. And then we already know what could happen if we don't do it right. So how do we put a plan in place? And every person we work with has a different need. Yes, they need a product and they need fulfillment. They need a landing page. They need support tickets and help and all that kind of stuff. But it really comes down to finding somebody who has the experience, and that's really what I'll keep driving home today. Is ShipOffers is a company that has a lot of experience, millions and millions of packages every year. With operations around the world, we're super excited about the operation where you're at in the Netherlands that we recently opened. And I'm like, that's an untapped market with endless amounts of potential, 100%. Boots on the ground, running around, trying to figure it out. And we were just trying to find, product manufacturers there. And you want to talk about, that's a whole new world, a whole new market. I mean, I spent 8 different trips going to the Netherlands this past year. Sometimes I'd go home for a week and go back. And it's because we're not going to stop until we find our customer solution. And we're going to do it all the time. We're going to constantly do it. And you're going to teach us and we're going to learn. We're going to figure out how to get better so that we can be there for you when you are going through what I like to call the chaos of life. And, affiliate screwed you, you had, some fraud on your network and, some packages, went out wrong, because we're not perfect. There's no perfectness. It doesn't matter. I bought stuff from some of the biggest box companies in the world. And I'm like, I didn't order this. And, at the end of the day, there's people putting stuff in boxes, people mapping SKUs, people doing things. And you really want to have a collaborative partner. And that's working with, Everflow. It's collaborative. It's not, hey, here's a piece of software. It'll track everything you need. I'm like, that's great, but I need this. And you guys will say, well, let us figure out how to do that. And that's why I like our company is we're always trying to say, let us figure it out. And we'll come back to you with some ideas and hopefully some new solutions to those problems.
100%. And if there's something I can say about ShipOffers from my perspective is the dedication, and you mentioning it now, how much you care about every client and every product, and put the experience on top of it. This is the best offering that the client or someone even new in the industry can say, I prefer to pay a bit more for someone that can bring me to the next step.
And let me just add one idea. So a lot of times you contact a fulfillment company or a manufacturer and you say, hey, what's my out the door price? But what's my out the door over time? Not the one-off, not just a couple. And, I've seen it, unfortunately, in this industry so much. People get quoted one thing, but they don't have all the prices. One thing that we pride ourselves on, there's no hidden things that are going to pop up. We're transparent. Southwest, had that slogan for a long time, transparency. They just show you the numbers, right? Even Southwest, just bring it up. They're switching to a different model. They're going to now give you the opportunity to board not in a group like A, B, C. They're going to board with a seat number. So they've learned in the industry you have to make adjustments. And I love the fact that when people call us and we say, let us audit for you, let's give us a chance, give us a free audit. Whatever you're doing, wherever you're going right now, whatever you're having for fulfillment or product pricing, call us up. Let us have an audit. And over time, I think you'll realize, wow, we're saving money. Our customers are getting products and services delivered much faster. And maybe it cost a penny more, or maybe it was actually $1 less. I can't tell you until I look at it, but I'm often surprised when my clients call me up and go, wow, I should have made the switch a lot longer, like a lot sooner, because there was
Yeah.
so much I was paying for. I didn't realize I was paying for. And now your fees are just completely like straightforward.
And I think it's not only the fees, it's the service that you're giving. It's like the best class service, in my opinion. I think this is
Yeah,
great.
we often say the industry knows Ship Offers for being everywhere, and standing behind being everywhere is like, we wouldn't be able to show up if we were a company and not providing amazing services. Like Iman, she helped to make the introduction and get us, to have this conversation today, but she came from the network side, right? So she's got all of those experiences on the network side. Another person, Iman, for a period of time was with ClickBank and then Digi, and then saw an opportunity with us. And then Z, he worked at ClickBank, multiple times, but before that he was at like bodybuilding.com and had a chance to work. And then the one thing about us is we're not going to poach you as a customer or a client. We're going to provide basically the opportunity and give you some things to think about. And if there's a great value and you see it, then you get the slide over and, join our team. We all have one common goal: help you to win, help the customer to be more successful, the client, the partner. We have a slogan at Ship Offers. It's to be the strategic partner to elite marketers, one shipment at a time. And that means the person packing the order, the person SKU mapping the order, the person answering the phones, the trouble tickets, showing about events. We're not trying to have everybody. We're having the right customer too, who fits our avatar and who really needs our service. And a lot of people don't know why they need a company when they're just like, oh, I just put some stuff in a box. I'm like, but what happens if, you bought a couple thousand bottles and overnight it blew up and you didn't have product for a day, 2 days, a week? I mean, you'll be out of business. And so everybody here knows that like communication is essential. And that's really our team. I walked in this morning right before this, and I walked into operational logistics, and they're just working on mapping and solving, issues that come up. And now we're implementing tons of new systems and software to even, let you guys have a better visibility of everything that we're doing, so you can track it, I think first it looks like a beach level, and then down to each individual piece of sand, so you can really map, what worked and didn't work.
That's really great. And you mentioned a bit technology. So how do you see the technology in fulfillment can help the different type of clients that you're working with?
Everything comes down to what? Data.
Yeah.
It's data 24/7. I love the systems we have behind the scenes. Several years ago, I thought we were slacking a little bit in some areas of software. And I'm glad, I got people on my team who are like, we'll go figure it out, and bring us new solutions, even working with you guys. Visibility is everything. And so really having the data and mapping the data, not just hoping that the data just is going to be there, but we see the data every single day and we get that over to you so you can see what maybe are the new trends. We love looking at what's coming. We don't share who our customers are with anybody, but we can say this is working. And I see this in a couple different, niches and sectors. And, I think if you could make some adjustments, you may get your throughput a little bit higher and your return a little bit more and your cost savings down. Maybe it's a carrier that we're using that you could switch from one carrier to the other, and it could get delivered a couple days faster. If you have enough volume behind it, you'll definitely save a lot of money. So we need the data, and we need it. We don't look at it sometimes. It's on my phone 24/7. I'm like in the charts. We log our data. Every person on our team that's on the office side has access to the data, the real data in real time, to see what's happening. And we love giving the data away, because the data really helps you make informed decisions. And really, once again, what is a company like us that's been around almost 24 years? We've seen the seasons, the ups and the downs, the ebbs and the flows. So data for me is key. Working with companies like the networks, Digistore, Buy Goods, ClickBank. I mean, they have to have that data. They need to know, not just to pay. They need to know where maybe they can't take any more customers in that niche, because that's just causing a lot of chargebacks on their mids. And, they got to do everything. Also the data of payouts, some companies are slow to pay. Well, you got to make an informed decision. Your mids are, causing you a lot of money because you're overpaying. So you need the data, and that's what we have access to. We don't really store any of the customer data, the end customer data. We just use the data to help make informed decisions on better shipping options. That's really what we use it for. but we don't mail to it, send to it. All we do is really work with our customers one-on-one to make sure that we're providing everything that they need and go above and beyond every single time.
That's really nice because you mentioned also the partners that you're working with them, for example, like Buy Goods. How do you look on partnerships? You know, like your business partners in this case, the suppliers, the networks. How do you work with them to synchronize that everyone wins?
Yeah, I mean, I love the question. What you just said is the win, right? We want our customers to win, our clients to win. We love our networks. We're not anything without these guys because they give eyes and help us get exposure. One of the ways that we love to win is, we built this whole motto is we go where our customers are. So we go spend the time at the networks. We go spend time doing events with the networks. Just before the call, I was telling you, we're kind of like Switzerland in the game.
Yeah.
We're not trying to be one size fits all because there isn't one size fits all solution. And when I host dinners or events with our team, we invite all three of those networks in, right? And sometimes you're like, do you know what you just did? You put like all of the big channels in one room. And how did you do it? I said, because at the end, there is a customer here who is probably running on one platform, didn't even know this other option was available, and can love to split and get access to new affiliates and have new eyeballs on their offer. So at the end of the day, it's just getting exposure. All of our partners, we know firsthand. Like we know the CEO, we know all the officers. A lot of the team that we have has worked on networks, so it's collaborative, and they love helping and seeing success. Another thing, one of the pieces that I'd love to make sure that I share is that because of the strong relationships we have with the affiliate networks, it gives legitimacy to ship offers because we have, this long history. People don't think of us as some fly by night company. And I don't look at the networks as fly by night. The risk is in the networks. The networks have so much risk, and they want to make sure that they're working with the best of the best. And then when they come to us, we know, because we get paid last. So I got to make sure that the networks are really, doing their compliance checks and making sure that, all the stuff from A to Z, that's when you buy products from us, they've already gone through a bunch of compliance checks. The networks are running compliant stuff. And then the products that are being fulfilled, they're all registered. They're all manufactured properly. They've got all the documentation. So we alleviate by having just a really big data suite that we push to each affiliate network. We give peace of mind. And so the collaboration is there because, everybody's got to worry about, having legal claims, having, bad labels, having things that happen in the industry. And we love being able to provide the best practices in the world to these affiliate networks so they can get better. And then they pass on data that they're seeing to us to help us. So it's really collaborative.
That was like fascinating in my opinion because and we spoke about it that in general how I see partnerships is everyone can work with everyone, and you mentioned Switzerland, and it's exactly the way that I think we can win together and do business together and grow together, because maybe today it's my client but tomorrow it's yours. So I love the approach, and I would like to talk with you a bit about the future. And we in towards the end of Q3, I'm sure that you guys are starting to plan 2025. What are your plans? What are your goals for 2025, and how are you looking to achieve them?
Absolutely. I just love to give insight to your audience too. I started as a garage startup, less than $5,000 to start a business, in 2001. And history repeats itself over and over. And so rather than trying to predict the future, take the data that we have over the long history and make sure that you are an archaeologist and you dig through it. So I like going back before I go forward. And a lot of people, unfortunately, they like to go forward without looking back. So I'm a big believer. You gotta remember where you started, how you got to where you're at, what worked and didn't work. And then we just had a strategy session yesterday on events coming up for 2025, and that those events to us are really, really big. We try to take an event that's happening somewhere in the world, if it's in, Bucharest, Budapest, and tap on a dinner, a stopover, a visit. I don't know many companies in the world that travel as much as we do. I put 200,000 air miles on my body last
Wow.
year. Being a partner, I'm still out in front, but I'm nobody without an amazing team. And so I think really empowering the team to do more of what they love, which is get in front of people. They love to travel. I love hearing from our team members who live in Europe. They can travel for $100, $200 to another country. I can't do that. I have thousands of dollars invested, and they love sitting and learning, and they bring back like, oh my gosh, we really pressed hard for the EU. The EU is really where our focus is. Brazil is our focus. Putting in the time and effort to hear our customers. We're going to Australia again this year and New Zealand. That's going to be big for 2025. Expansion overseas for us is really top of mind. We set out with a mission and a goal this year to really go out and find the right partners, collaborating like with you, and really going out and seeing what does the world need? What does the business world need around Nutra, fulfillment, products, et cetera? How can we be a better partner? And, I just want to improve on the things that we do well, and then learn that, hey, I can't tell you what tomorrow is going to be like. I can't even tell you what in 5 hours the world's going to be like, but I can tell you right now, we've got our eyes and our ears on helping our partners win, our clients win, and ultimately just being the best fulfillment company out there.
I'm just happy to be part of your 2025 plans.
Yeah, I'm excited. And we were in the Netherlands, and you said you sent a colleague came to an event we did. We just threw a dinner.
Yeah,
we just threw a dinner, and you had a family issue that came up, and we just do more of those. I love breaking bread. I think so much of my childhood was spent around the table catching up with my parents. What did you do today? What did you learn today? And I think when I was raising our kids, we always asked the questions like, what's one thing you did today? What was one thing you learned today? And I think it's so important to make sure that you're doing that, and face-to-face, not just on chat, but face-to-face. And that's what we're known as a company, is that we're going to make the effort to travel the distance to really be the ultimate partner for you, and to get in front of the right customer by listening to the industry. Has a lot to tell you. There's a lot of fly-by-nights, a lot of people who, launch 50, 60 offers, and none of those 50 or 60 offers really launch. They spend more of their time writing copy instead of really getting to know their audience. And then you do that by getting out and meeting people. So that's what I'm ultimately going to do more of. And I got to throw one more credit to the team. We've got an amazing team. Size-wise, we're well over 100 people for a fulfillment company. We've got, almost 10 plus people in sales, over 10 account managers. We have a full dedicated support system. We got people all around the world, answering trouble tickets 7 days a week. An amazing fulfillment team in the warehouses from Nashville to the Netherlands to Colorado, who are putting the time and effort. My warehouse manager, he just got back. Chris, he was 2 weeks in the Netherlands and just learning what's going and not working. And he's been with us 23 years. So it's really just making sure that our team gets the credit, because we have a team. And a lot of companies that you may work with, they don't really have the capacity to take care of you. We do. Our people travel, like just a New York event. We had 9 people from our team going out there, from my business partner, who is, an owner, to VPs, also just sales and account management. We're all hands on deck. We don't try to show up empty handed. We try to show up and not just over deliver. We try to make sure that we help you to win. And so I just want to throw one more little shade to my team and just tell them, man, thanks for all the hard work you guys put in, because you make this conversation happen, because it's the magic you guys provide to give me an opportunity to boast about our company.
100% to kudos to the team. Also the flying hearts here. For the last question for our chat, I would like to ask for your prediction for the Nutra ecosystem in the upcoming years.
How I started the conversation, let's end the conversation. I think care more about the end, not your pocketbook. I always say, if you lead with your heart, 2 things fill up. Your heart feels good, your pocketbook feels good. If you lead with your wallet, it may be a quick fill, but it'll be eventually empty and meaningless, and you'll just be on to the next thing. I've been married for 26 years. I put in the effort. I've been a father for 25 years, put in the effort. There's no quick anything. Even instant oatmeal, you still have to stick it in a microwave. It's not instant. Even instant coffee takes time to perk. So just remember, put in the effort, put in the time, and remember, like, as much as you can give, you'll get in return. So if you give a little, you get a little in return. It's kind of like a boomerang. You throw a good boomerang, it'll come back to you. You kind of just carelessly throw a boomerang out in the world, it'll smack you upside the back of the head. So be careful on how you make moves in 2025. Nutra could go one of two ways. It could become just incredible as it continues to blossom and grow into the billions and beyond, or we could see a huge setback because everybody's chasing the almighty dollar. Because at the end of the day, everything has cost, just inflation across the board has cost more. But if you spent the time, instead of just trying to go get another customer, you spend the time building a list, managing the data, really looking at products that move and where you can make adjustments and savings, and hire some key people on your team to really become passionate about the customer experience and making sure, as we like to say, the fortune's in the follow-up. Spend the time actually looking at what you've done to get to where you're at. Don't skimp over it and just try to get to the next thing. I've been doing the same thing over and over, and the results have only gotten better and better.
Tony, thank you so much for really a great chat. And I'm sure that the audience will love it, and we can use this later on to share it with our prospects and clients. Have a great afternoon and evening, everyone, and looking forward to seeing you in the next Fireside Chat.